writer who hopes to publish a book one day dreams of becoming a best-selling author, reaching millions of readers across the world with their words. Yet only a handful of them are able to follow through on this dream to take their book right to the very top. For first-time fiction writers, this challenge only gets tougher. You see, when it comes to fiction as a genre, readers primarily seek out books from authors who are already well established and have been read and recommended by other readers, as opposed to non-fiction books where readers search for books to read by the subject they are interested in. Today, we have with us award winning journalist and former journalist, I should say, and author of best selling fiction novel, The Rape Trial, Vidisha Ghoshal. Vidisha, who is a recipient of the International Press Institute Award for Excellence in Journalism and the Statesman Award for Rural Reporting, moved on from journalism to focus on her career as an author before publishing her first fiction novel, The Rape Trial, which went on to top the charts under the crime thriller category on Amazon. With over 250 plus reviews and an average rating of 4.4 stars on Amazon, the book continues to be one of the most popular reads in the category. Vidisha, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us here today. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you, Sushant. It's a great pleasure for me to be here as well.
So, Vidisha, let's get started. The Rape Trial, the title really stands out and grabs attention immediately. Could you give us a brief about the book for the benefit of our viewers today?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So basically, the title of my novel is very, very straightforward, but actually the story is not that straightforward. So it's not about a typical rape trial where somebody has survived an assault and has gone on to court to get justice. It's basically three friends. They realize that somebody they know is a rapist. So he's about to get away with it for the second time. He already got away with it once when he was first accused. And they decide to put a Stieg Larsson on him, the girl with the dragon tattoo. So they kidnap him and torture him and leave him alive to be found. The thing is that because they like doing it so much, they were just so full of this righteous vindication and everything, that they decide to do it again. They keep doing it, and then there are copycat gangs that are repeating this because everybody's just very, very angry with the state of our rape culture and how things, women's safety and all that. So the cops are hot on their heels. The cops are catching up with them, and then just when the three of them think they're about to get caught, somebody else gets arrested for what they had done. So this is all. Then it goes on to her trial, that girl's trial, whether she is a vigilante or not, whether she is innocent, whether she killed a boy out of for some other reason. So that's the trial that actually happens in the book.
All right. Thank you so much, Vidisha, for explaining. The one thing I noticed, you mentioned the rape culture in India, and everyone can see the rising number of sexual harassment and rape cases in the country almost on an everyday basis. Yet, very few authors actually cover this topic in their books. Being a former journalist yourself and being exposed to such stories more, did that serve as a point of inspiration for you to write on the subject?
Actually, no, because it was life, unfortunately, that served as a point of inspiration for the book.
Okay.
As a girl, I've grown up with rape culture. I was told for my own safety that I shouldn't walk out at a certain time. I shouldn't wear this, and I should be careful about becoming too friendly with boys. So I've been at the receiving end of this for pretty much all my life. I guess I was very, very angry for a very long time. It's not like the anger is completely gone; it's still there. But I guess at some point it came out constructively in the shape of this book.
Right.
Yeah, and as far as my journalism work is concerned, I have done some work connected to women's issues, but I've had a very prolific. I have a very prolific portfolio where journalism is concerned. It's not that I worked only on that. So it's more life than work that served as a point of inspiration.
Right. So moving on to the success of your book, right? I mentioned earlier about writing, publishing, and marketing a fiction book is extremely different from doing that for a non-fiction book. So, what were some of the things that you did to ensure that you gave your book the best shot in the market?
Well, actually, the one thing that I knew I was going to do even before I handed my manuscript over to Notion Press was that I would reach out to bloggers. So I had reached out to them, sounded them out, got an understanding of the costs involved. And accordingly, as soon as my book got launched, as soon as it released on Amazon, I reached out to them. We started the work. And as word spread, more and more people approached me like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we review books. So can you give us a copy? Or
Mm-hmm.
would you like us to review your book? So I just kept saying yes.
Right.
So that's just it. It's not like I had a very fixed budget
Mm-hmm.
or I had this idea that, oh, I have to reach so many reviews or anything like that. I just kept saying yes.
Okay.
And that's how it happened. Yeah.
So you primarily focused on your blogger
Review.
outreach, right? What
Blogger,
about
yeah.
yeah?
Uh,
What
well,
about
yeah, at first, sorry. Sorry. Please, sorry. Please go
no,
ahead.
no, please go ahead. I was just wondering if you focused on other channels as well, apart from bloggers and reaching out to bloggers and for reviews, etc. Uh, did you also focus on like social media and taking those
Yeah,
blog stories to social media, taking those blog reviews and promoting it on social media as well?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because every blogger has. It's not like they have a presence only on their blogs. They have
Right.
their social media handles as well. So
Mm-hmm.
when they are reviewing your book, they do review it on various channels.
Okay.
And Instagram, especially because Instagram is the account that I'm most comfortable with personally.
Mm-hmm.
So for a while, it became a workspace for me,
Mm-hmm.
where a lot of the reviewers they call themselves bookstagrammers. So the bookstagram community, individually, they reached out and they were like, can we? And I was like, yes, please.
That's great. And one of the
So
things I also noticed about your book, the blurb of the book, the short description, was really beautifully written, and it was very to the point. Gave a little bit about the plot away and built that intrigue, I must say. And I'm sure that also, for fiction books especially, there's not much to go on for to go with for promoting, right? So the blurb and the description of the book plays a huge part. And I did notice when I read through the blurb that you had absolutely nailed that. So did you take put in a lot of effort to get that just right, the blurb and the
yes, yes, I did actually. So I have a couple of friends whom I kept sending drafts to and talking about my book to. Like one of them is actually a very close friend of mine, but he's not a reader. He read only I think my manuscript is the only book he's read. And the other is an ex-journalist colleague
Mhm.
who we're very good friends, and she's a reader, and they I would write something, especially when you're talking about the blurb. I would write it and I would send it to them like, what do you think? So I have a non-reader perspective, I have a reader perspective. And yeah, it took longer than I thought it would to write that short little
As it should,
blurb.
really. Yeah. So one
Yeah,
of the things that worked out really well for your book was the reviews and the feedback that you had gotten, right? Getting over
yeah,
250 reviews and an average rating of like 4.4 stars for the book on a
yeah.
platform like Amazon is something that goes a long way in building that positive word of mouth for your book. So how did you manage this
Yeah.
feat, and was there something specific that you did? Was there a plan to get these reviews, or was it just something that happened along with your blogger outreach?
No, so the blogger outreach, they do post a review on Amazon. They
Mm.
post a review on Goodreads as well. But not everybody does, not everybody reviews on all the platforms. So there are certain platforms that a book gets its presence noted on, but
Mhm.
not everybody does all the platforms. But they do Amazon. They understand that Amazon is the place where everybody goes for
Absolutely.
to even see where they should, what book they should read next.
Yeah.
The Amazon reads, but
Right.
not everybody does all the platforms.
Hmm.
But I think I was really, so I know that, I mean, I like my own book. Okay. So
Yeah.
like, if someone else had written this book, I would have bought it. It so I'm not surprised. I didn't expect bad reviews, but I didn't expect such good reviews also, and I didn't expect the consistency. Like, I think I can count. I think there were two or three reviewers who had an issue with the content.
Hmm.
The most common negative review I've gotten is that the book is too long.
Right.
But other than that, it's been really, really positive, and I was very overwhelmed and very like, oh wow, they like this much, you know.
Yeah. And I
So
think,
I was really happy. Like,
yeah, and I think for
yeah,
viewers out there who think blogger outreach is just like sending your book out to a few bloggers and they write a positive review, I think it's very critical to
oh my
understand
god,
that
no, no.
you don't have control over like what the review is actually going to be, right? So,
Yeah, in fact, I'm so glad you brought this up, because very recently there was an issue in the Bookstagram community where there was an author who created an issue, you know, and I read all the exchanges, and it's really like there was this attitude where I'm paying you, so you have to say. I mean, I think he
yeah.
was demanding five
Mhm.
stars, so
Yeah.
which is really, you don't have the right to demand even 3 stars,
Right.
you know.
And I think,
They're not
yeah,
they're not charging you. Their payment is not for to give a positive review. Their payment is for the work they are putting in.
absolutely, yeah.
I understand if somebody is with a newspaper, and
Mm.
then that person has no right to say, give me money for your book. That is a little shady, because the newspaper, that book reporter already has a job. They're already being paid. Bookstagrammers are not, they are self-employed.
Right.
So they are putting in their
Fine.
they are putting in their time, they're putting in their energy into reading a book.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can't, I mean, it's not right, first of all, to demand a certain response to your work. And yeah, that's not how it functions. That's not how this area functions either. So
Absolutely. I think when we also heard about that, maybe a couple of reviewers reached out to us. We moved it through the right channels and we took the necessary actions and
yes, I noticed that.
yeah.
Yes, yes, I saw
So,
that as well. Yes, yes. It's really great that you are also standing up for, you have also taken your stand,
absolutely,
you
yeah.
know. So yeah.
So, Bidisha, it was an absolute pleasure talking to you and learning about what went on behind the scenes, to make your book such a huge success. Thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat with me today. I'm sure we can expect more phenomenal books from you in the future.
Thank,
Wishing you all the very best
thank,
in your journey as an author. Thank you so much.
thank you, Sushant. Very happy I could do this. Thanks.